All right, guys. So, excuse me. Part two, last part. I'm gonna finish it tonight for Batman 1989, made by Tim Burton. So, when we last left, we're almost at the half mark. We were at, for those who are keeping count, we are at exactly uh, 57 minutes and 55 seconds. And we are, as we see the Gotham Globe saying cosmetic scare in Gotham. Product tempering claims 13 lives. Who is this mysterious Joker? They're gonna know soon enough. So, camera's great. Okay. So, let's go jump back in this wonderful movie in 3, 2, 1, play. And I love it's the journalist has zits, they look creasy, and their hair is messed up, and of course in the and of course who is working on this shopping nightmare, Bruce himself. And I love how, of course, I love this little I love, of course, Bill D. Williams as Harvey Dent was a great choice for the time. Um, I love how, because I don't know what Tim Burton had planned for him. Of course, I know about. I've seen the making of. I've seen the back and forth on different ideas and what he would he have done if he had directed the third film. But let's just go with we have. For what we have, I think that like same thing for Pattingle as Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon, the mayor, and Harvey Dent. I didn't count, but they have almost the same screen time. Like they're used very sporadically in the film, and each time we focus on them, it's always, oh my god, something like when we see Pattingle in the casino scene at Bruce's Manor in the beginning. It's Mr. Gordon, problems with access chemicals. Okay, go go go. So they're done. When we see Harvey Dent, like we see in this scene, they're trying to prepare the 200th anniversary of Gotham, but they have already problems with that. We know they have problem with financing. We know they have problem with the mob, and now with the Joker, it's worse. And now this chemical attack. Really, when we think about it, it's a chemical terrorist attack because you cannot trust anything at the store anymore, and you could poison yourself. Imagine that. It could have been Scarecrow. It's really nuts. It's like people it's like going to shop but not knowing what food or produce or shampoo will kill you. It's I can't imagine some really a more terrorist threat. I mean, on a lower level, not with not bombs flying out, but and I love just that scene. No time for a slow burn. It's like right in the action. They're on the phone. 10 phones are ringing. Yes, of course. Harvey is always active, and the mayor is always pressing him. Yeah. Okay, so we were there. We were just at the time. Vicky, and of course, a good time she has left this message because otherwise Batman wouldn't have arrived to save the day. We could see this as a minor. Uh, it's like uh, how could I say? It's a minor. It makes it. It's a trying to find my words in English. It's convenient. That's what I wanted to say. It's a little more convenient, of course. And why she said if she's gonna be 5-10 minutes late, does she really need to call him? It's like it doesn't really matter. But of course, it's there. So okay, it's not a problem. It's not. It was just to call her. But from an no, I misspoke because if she had if because the Joker told made himself Bruce Wayne and arranged that rendezvous with her. So it's totally normal that she calls him and Jay for whatever reason. So that being late is just another reason because he if could have spoken. In fact, it's the perfect way to do it. I'm sorry, I misspoke totally. I'm marching. I'm breaking the eggs as I walk on them. Um, no, it's perfect because if she had spoken right through to him, you would have said, "No, you've been duped. Where I didn't call. It's not me." So we wouldn't have had a great Batman action scene, like the first major Batman against the Joker. So it was just a perfect little snippet of. Anyway, why am I losing so much time on this? So he knows she's going to the museum. So Bruce is alerted. Bruce is already Bruce. I like the idea that Bruce is gearing up at the same time that Joker is putting on his human skin color makeup. That is gonna make smart. Of course, very Phantom of the Opera with the mask, and I also because for the first time I saw this movie, I didn't realize that she was the guinea pig that he used to create his Joker gas because he deformed her a little like and it's Joker. So it's a little like Joker has this relationship with women, this weird relationship. Like why does Harley Quinn still goes with him? Why does she stays with the Joker? And she's a little nuts, so you can see that the chemical has like altered her brain because she speaks very slow and like acts stands like a skeleton. Like she's like a walking corpse almost. A very tragic, um, sickened by Joker's chemical tests on her. So I have no proof to what I say, but that's how I imagine it. Because he says I think in the supper that she was her canvas or whatever something like that. So we'll see. So of course the gas mask, and I love how they're written like a child would read would write. And again, the gas, it's terrifying. Like I don't know if it has killed him or if it's pure Joker gas. And it has a shade of purple. That I like also. I don't know if I never got if at the end of a movie the balloon because it has a clear, distinct purple gaze. So I don't know if it's the same gas as the end of the movie. Uh, and of course, I don't know if they seem pretty dead because they don't. Nobody seems to breathe. Uh, it's broad in our minds, and of course, I like Danny Elfman's score better than Prince. But for this kind of theatrics, oh, I love this music. I love how it's shot. I love how it's edited. I love the fact that, of course, give a shave to Abraham Lincoln. And of course, people always say, how does Joker find people to work for him? Like, because he doesn't care about money, even he has a lot of money always, but he doesn't care. Like, but I think this Joker care because the Joker is more, like, has more relationships with like excess chemicals, like it's a big enterprise. So he's like to have his hands on it, like all everything, every what he made in mass production for his gas that went to sell for the grocery stores and the pharmacy, then the the drug stores and everything. So he would have made money. I love how he blocks Bob's knife with his cane because, of course, it's the inside of a cow. I like this one. And now we arrive at this time: Joker versus Vicky Vale. Crap, crap. Of course, he likes the corpses, the dead. Of course, I like also that. Of course, I like what Al Nicholson and Jack Nicholson, all the little, um, all the little iterations of his voice and of his he mimics with the mouth, and he doesn't go to because Heath Ledger has this distinct tongue action and saliva, we could say, action, but of course, Jack Nicholson's prosthetics must have been really more tight. They don't seem really comfortable. So I don't know how much of a range of motion he had, but he's making the best of it. And of course, I like I like everything. I just wanted to say before we see it in action, the rose that shoots acid. I like that. I like that he has gadgets like Batman. He has the electrifying button. It's like it's really, it's like to say, I wonder. I really would have liked to be a fly on the wall when Tim Burton was pitching this at Warner Brothers, because to say, okay, we're gonna make a serious Batman movie with a serious troubled guy with a bulletproof vest, a bulletproof suit, and we have a Joker that has, like, his nerves were shredded. So we the surgeon, the underground fake surgeon, gives him a smile and everything, and he's gonna have he's gonna have the gadgets like in the comic books. And you could say, I imagine someone at Warner Brothers saying, "Wait, you're talking about comic books and everything, like." And I just wanted to know how much executives and people who make decisions and financial decisions, because this was a big risk in 1989 for to give him that budget. They it pays, it paid really well, but at the beginning it was a really big risk because of the size and the pay the actors and everything. So I just wanted to say how Tim Burton was persuasive enough to tell to challenge their minds, like the Joker would say, that would broaden their minds, and to make them accept that version that he gave us. So I can only speculate, but I just want to touch on that note because these are really Tim Burton is at his best, and I this is Tim Burton at his best. Is really dark, and again, I don't see why people and parents and children complain about Batman Returns. Yeah, Batman Returns is really scary if you're a kid, but this movie is too. Like the electric grip with the roasted corpse, and the like Joker's girlfriend was is all deformed, and people were be killed with gas, and I mean shootouts and explosions, and I mean it's not for the faint of heart. So I never understood the difference. Like, is it just, I don't know. I have to pace myself and keep it up for Batman Returns. So let's continue. It's my favorite line of Jack Nicholson in this movie. I make art until someone dies. It's it encapsulates perfectly what the Joker is, or this version of the Joker, but a few versions at least. And he laughs. He's the first homicidal artist, and that's not scary for children. My face on the $1 bill. He must be joking. And of course, the easy reply. Mm. And I like another thing I'm figuring out with the Joker as I'm listening through this with more depth. At least I try. Um, it's that when we see him at the beginning, when he is just Jack Napier, he doesn't have, or at least he doesn't talk about. Of course, we see in his room the he always have the beautiful pictures and the paintings, and like Bruce read in his file, he loves art. But he was just a gangster. He never, not once, he spoke about art, or like he just said, we're not like normal people. We're artists. So he considers artists at the upper echelon of the society. But I'm questioning myself: is the fact the brain, the exploded brain of becoming the Joker, uh, like I said, broadened his mind and said, "Oh well, I've always." It's like if is birth. It's like if the birth of the physical Joker created the psychological uh, switch of Jack Napier and made him like kind of just whoop, flip the switch, and a light went off literally. So it's just it really gives him an arc too. So I like I just want to say I like this. I like to think that of this arc better when I look at him as a character than the fact to say, "Oh, he killed Batman's parents." because the fact that he killed Batman's parents, it had to be done one day. Of course, it was. I'll save it for later, but just to say that it was gonna be done one way or another in a movie or another. It had, or it would have been another character or another villain. Someone had this idea forever, and it had to be done. So now that it's been done once, it won't be done again. So we're past that. But for this version, for this first real true motion, true real life action movie film, um, I think that I think that the Joker has way more depth if we stay at him, because everything. Because why didn't he create the poison, or the when he was Jack Napier? What didn't he do any of that? Why didn't he use his skill in chemistry? Because he could have made, like I've said, chemical weapons and sold them to bad guys. I mean, he was a gangster. He could have been all of that if he had the skill, and he was a bad guy. Why wait? Why did everything? Why did all his persona and emphasis on this skill, on this matter, bursted off of him when he became, after he was plunged in a tank of acid? It's like it's like baptism. It was a rebirth of Jack Napier. Of course, Jack is dead. He's the Joker. So I'm just saying that uh, I really love how with just this, with just of course he has the white face, but I mean, let's be honest. The makeup is in Ultra HD. The makeup is a little basic, but with just the prosthetics that are not too. I mean, they're there. They're visible. They're a good smile, but they're not altering to the point that you say, okay, this guy is completely different. Like, um, so I mean, so yeah, you, I don't know, just an observation. Of course, she talks slow. She seems like brain damaged. Yeah, that's there. She's just a sketch. It's a living work of art. Yeah, I love the tension it's building. A lot of people said about Kim Basinger that, oh, all she does is yelling, 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 and she's always yelling. I said, yeah, but look who is she paired with. I mean, wouldn't you fucking yell if she was there? I mean, she's defenseless against this horde of gangsters and psychopaths, and this guy, this deformed guy who has poison darts, has poison flowers and acid that shoots acid, and wants to burn the skin of women to make art. I mean, it's fucking nuts. It's Batman's head on the lens. And she said that too fast. That's why he doesn't believe her. Oof. And she just shoots other I love that she shoots. It's so easy. It's so simple, but it's just enough that his makeup, all his uh, beige makeup drips out, and how we see it's a really good trailer shot too. I will say, but it was a perfect when Tim Burton was doing his shots, was composing his shots in the editing room or whatever. And I love the I love the way that the camera is panning, like with like at his left shoulder, and melting and melting and melting. Right shoulder, excuse me. And she tries to comfort him, and he turns around, and then the break. Here comes the bat. And Joker is just like, what the fuck? And of course, little detail if you miss because it's very fast. Okay, first for this circle, like the shot lingers, and she tries to, like, what is she trying to do? What would water in the face of someone do? It's like this is just like he's completely joking, and but and the dramatic turn with his white face and his perfect laugh, and then the I don't know, it's one of my favorite shots. I don't know why, because how many times have we seen Batman drew up from a rooftop, from a glass rooftop? We've seen it in this, we've seen it in the Schumacher movies, we've seen it in Batman going through glass in The Dark Knight, and of course we see him at the climax of Matt Reeves' The Batman. So there's always a shot, but this is my favorite because I don't know if because the skyline windows, the skyline glass roof was kind of, I don't know why, but it's kind of a white tint, or it was painted white or something. And I just like the contrast, and I like the effect. They must have gave him a more solid cape for making look like he was gliding down, because they don't explain why he can glide and whatever. But I love the juxtaposition of the white of the windows that breaks in a very uh, like triangular pattern. I like the type of glass they use. I don't know why I love this burst out, this breakthrough, this Batman arrival. I don't I love it so much because it super cuts with the Joker, the Joker reverse, white face, perfect laugh, and bang, showdown. No time wasted. Like, oh, I'm just amazed by the editing of this movie, because when I first saw it, I was kind of like, yeah, well, yeah, I remember Batman '89. It was a little slow per times, and I mean, this movie is everything but slow. Every time, every editing is pitch perfect. No scene is filler. There's nothing. I mean, we're an hour seven in, and I wouldn't have cut a single second. So I mean, yeah. So I just really like the aesthetic. I mean, in '89, the special effect. Well, of course, there's not special, but it's a it's a it's a prop effect. It's material. It's not CGI. So I just like how we fell, and we don't, a thing that that sometimes the Tim Burton fails. I understand why every Batman movie has it, but A lot of times they show a stuntman face too much and too long, and we recognize it because nobody has Michael Keaton's face. And I like that in the. I'm pretty sure Michael Keaton didn't drop off that glass. Of course, when he falls, we see him, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't him. And I don't know if it's the shadows or like I said, the white on the black, and the cape and the rope and everything. It's just it was just as a single shot. It's beautiful. It's not just action driven. It's not just holy shit, Batman's there. It's just like very yeah. It's just beautiful. And the gadget that we never saw in until then in maybe in the animated series, but like I wouldn't have thought of that gadget. So at least now in the Arkham games we have that gadget, like trade for trade, the same exact gadget. It shoots two cords, two ropes of metal, and that makes him slide through. And yeah, I just want to add, for the first time, I didn't see it, but the first thing Batman does when they burst the door open and they land on their feet doesn't 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 spare 1 second. Quick smoke bombs. At least I think it's a smoke bomb. It's the He doesn't wait 1 second. Smoke bomb right there and now, and then we have the titular saying, "Those wonderful toys." Oh yeah, Batmobile reveal. My favorite Batmobile. And I love that as soon as Batman is visible for someone, like Vicky Vale, as like we'll see later, she has all the time in the all the time in the world. Of course, she's stressed and etc. But as soon as Batman, I wouldn't recognize Keaton at all because, of course, of his mask, but because of his eyes and his face posture. I'm looking at him straight. I'm on pause at 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 3 seconds. I wouldn't recognize him at all. If you told me, ask me who is, I've never saw this movie. I never know anything about Batman. Who is this actor? I haven't the clue. But he look psychotic. Like when he's in the Batmobile, he always has that look, and like he doesn't care when he's Batman. In fact, when it's like in the beginning, I want you to tell all your friends about me. It's like that's what I dig about this Batman. He's so like he's not a monster. He's not. He's he's like like yeah, like a Greek god, like a Greek statue, like an angel of darkness, and he's like you cannot go through him, you cannot kill him, and he cannot. He's not made to interact with humans. He's not a human being. At least I don't think so. And he doesn't look. He never looks at her, or at least almost never. Of course, he has to drive, but and I love that the I love how the backlot or the all the all of what they build was big enough to do this chase, because no, they're not using Chicago like Nolan did. They don't have 10 kilometers of streets to film in, but it's in a backlot. But Jesus, it looks so good and it's so packed with information. There's never an empty shot. There's never not a lot of traffic. It's always it doesn't always rain, but it's always um, like there's always garbage everywhere, and of course it's Gotham, but I know if it's and it's always the road is always slippery. It doesn't rain right now because putting rain like in this would have been hell in back in those days. So gadget. Oh, my cabbages. Because yeah, if you look at all those shots, like why does he why does Batman have to use a grapple to make a turn? Like, isn't the Batmobile like strong enough to make this turn? But then you see all the others crashing, and it's because the street is fucking slippery as hell. Look at this shot when he's entering just after the smashing up of cars. It's all slippery. It's all wet. So of course he had to use a grapple. But that's a construction truck. Yeah, that's too much for the Batmobile. Let's go. And now that he's out of the Batmobile, now he can interact with her. But not in. He's too close, uncomfortable. No. I love Shield CGI. Still works. Still holds on. Nothing to complain about. Iconic shot. Yeah, and Keaton, I remind, oh, he falls down, kicks one, shot, shot very close. Ooh, but we see the holes. I like that we see the holes. Yeah, he's human. That's not a good idea. Just when the mask lifts off with the flash. Oh, Batman is up. Yeah, yeah. And so, for the fighting style, as you know, I have to talk about the fighting style. Batman 189 and Batman and Batman Returns. He's using. I may have said this before, but he's using mainly karate in this scene at least. Um, because all the blocks are very straight and they don't have a lot of flexibility. The kicks is just a side kick from any karate style. And of course, throwing someone on the other side of a car, well, that's just pure brute strength. So that's nice. Now we have a guy with swords. And against a sword, you need shields. And Batman has shields. I like that he uses these boots. And there, right before when we saw the fighting stance, we saw that it was a stuntman, but it was just dark enough, and the edit was just quick enough that we couldn't really see it. or he looked like it's not like I remember in Returns there's a scene like I was, oh my god, it looks, it's, we see the stuntman too much, but in this scene, yeah, yeah, we see for a half a second, but he seems for 99.9% of people won't see it. Again, we see him passes, and I like the fact that he uses boots too. As a fighting style, is there a fighting style of gauntlets against two swords? Not really. I mean, the slap was a straight karate again. He did he dove under the swords and he made his open palm hand. It's just a palm strike, really classical. And that, my friend, is what we call a maigiri to the face. Maigiri is a front kick in Japanese karate, and it's just a straight off feet to the face with the primarily hitting with the heel. So and he does a backflip and he loses his swords. Perfect. That will knock someone out. Bob, come here and play, Bob. So again, for the times, and of course, this is, she drops the film in her, well, in her corsage, we'll say. Um, but yeah, no, for this time of movie, I mean, you can say where the guy with two swords got from, but we just thought that guns couldn't kill him. So if you want to chop him to pieces or at least hurt him, maybe knives or guns, or they don't know who they're fighting. They don't know what he's capable of. And yeah, there are knives on the ground, guns on the ground. Like, we don't know how to mess up this guy. He just has an answer for everything, and I like that because it's the first time. It's like this other thing. It's like this is like a veteran Batman, but for the story and how the characters react to him, it's like a year one Batman. So it's like if Batman had trained like maybe longer and waited longer, or became Batman slower or longer, or took more time here and there, or whatever, however you want to phrase it. It's like, because Michael Keaton is older, is too old for a year one Batman, but every coverage from the start of the film, he said, is the first encounter. They're not sure. The police never saw him until X's chemicals, and now the criminals. It's the first time he encounters like gangs, like the Joker gang, or that someone that could really have a good look of what he was like, because the criminals on the roof at the beginning, like they 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 were so scared and going to the hospital and everything. They won't spell the beans about the Batman. It's like he's too terrifying for them. But yeah, these guys, they're learning. So the criminals are learning. Oh yeah, he has armor, and take off his mask. The first thing you would do. I mean, the first thing we would do is shot him in the mouth. But it's Batman. It's Batman. I like that the Batmobile is automatically driven. And the first thing, and the first thing, Batman is waiting for Vicky Vale to descend from the stairs, and the first thing she does is yell because he's so scared. And there comes my another one of my favorite pieces of music, Descent into Mystery. And again, they could have been so more. It could have been really easier to, because it's so rich. And yeah, we see now. Okay, so a couple things about this scene. It we just want this. What the scene this scene tells? For me, it tells two things. First, it want to tell the story of the road to the Batcave, like what we see, of course, in the lore, in the classical lore, that Batman always go through forest or rivers or something um, remote from the city. Like Wayne Manor is remote, like the Batcave is remote. It's a cave. It can't exist near a city, at least for a few miles. So, but I love the again, the richness of the spectrum of the shot. All they didn't have to put dead leaves everywhere, but it gives it so much. Again, a Halloween Batman, a costume theme, a dark theme. The trees are a little crooked. It's Tim Burton, so we're in a Burton land, so to speak. And second thing, the eyes of Keaton, the eyes of Bruce when he is in the suit. He is completely, but because now he's not in a chase, he doesn't have, like we saw, his Batmobile can drive automatically. So he's just completely, if you just look at his eyes, and now, because now Vicky Vale can look at him all the time she wants. And we see that as soon as he notices her, he's just so focused like a laser, and he is not a human being, and he doesn't respond to her question. He just looks at her like, shut up. And he just goes faster. And again, wet, again, dead leaves, again, Batmobile going really fucking fast. It's always, again, just a few shots, Batmobile speeding up and up and up. And then we slow down and we see Vicky Vale examining him. Like, have I seen this guy before? Is he, I mean, she really looks at him and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like being seen. Did he just open a light? Ah, God, fuck myself. Just a sec, guys. I'll be back in it. You won't know when I'm back. I'll be back soon. Yeah. Okay, guys. Sorry, I'm back. I just wanted to see because when she started looking at him and examining him, and he just goes like, he looks at her for a quarter of a second, like a fly, like an insect that's on you, like you're just, yeah, go away, like you don't matter, like 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 eh, an inconvenience, like don't look at me, don't look at me, go look somewhere else. I just want to see if to blind her he opened the light, because I noticed for the whole take, I noticed that there was a lamp, a little lamp on top of his head, and I think he just lit it up. I just have to check a second time. She looks at him. He doesn't like it. Yeah, exactly. He opens the light and blinds her. Wow. Okay, I have never seen that. Okay. And I'm on pause and she is like this because he just and he it just put him completely in the dark, and her siege, her face is in complete light, like blinding light. And of course, he saw that she was looking too close, and he opened the light to blind her. I had never seen that in, for whatever how many times I saw this movie, never seen that before. and it works. Now she's too into descent into the mystery, and she's afraid, and she's like, "Oh, I've got a headache." And he always speeds up to be in front of her, never being. He doesn't speak to her. He goes to his. He just says, "Be careful." And all the bats, real bats. Understand, Nolan? Real bats. Or Zack Snyder, real bats. They're great survivors. And I love how this Batcave looks gigantic, and it reminds me a lot of the Batcave in Arkham Origins because it's on multiple levels. And now Batman's eyes are completely in the dark. We can barely see them. And again, she's looking. She knows. She senses something. But Batman, it's like I like this Batman because Christian Bale's Batman, and I mean Ben Affleck. We've never seen enough of him. But Christian Bale's Batman, when he was dealing with humans, with people, he always he didn't he made it for him. It was natural. Yes, he changed his voice. Yes, he was portraying the Batman, but he was too casual about it. This Batman doesn't like it. He doesn't like being seen. He doesn't want photographs of him. Joe Schumacher. Um, he doesn't like people. He doesn't make speeches. He speaks minimally. He's a silent character. He is a tragic silent character. He doesn't want the attention. He just wants to do his job, go back to his cave, and call it a day. That's all he wants. You see, and when he sees that she's looking at him, he turns his head every time. Either he blinds her with light, or he turns his head, or he changes his voice. He does everything. And I like this lighting right here at 1 hour 59 minutes. Well, excuse me, 1 hour 15 minutes and 29 seconds. What? Just to say, when she says, "How did you figure this out?" And he throws the file on his bench, and the lighting, we see only his eyes. We see his eyes and the eyebrows of the mask. And everything else is completely in shadows. I love this scene. He looks like a fucking crazy man. He is imposing. When he advances on her, it's creepy as fuck. And he comes right to the camera saying he's psychotic. And what do we see? As soon as he says he's psychotic, we only see his eyes looking through the abyss. Batman doesn't look at a wall, at a person, at a fighter, at whatever. He just sees the abyss and he doesn't blink. What people? I said, what people? Of course, the answer is obvious. What people? Well, everyone, basically. What people? What do you mean, what people? It doesn't make sense for a human to say. For a bat creature, maybe well. For an angel of darkness, most, yeah, makes more sense. And he looks everywhere. And he's pissed. And he's pissed just because he says you're not normal. He's going right at her like a tank, like you won't stop him. And he advances and he advances, and he's so tall and dark and mysterious, and I mean, with the ears, and he's like a demon, and he's advancing towards her, and now he can advance towards her because now he's in the shadows. Now she can't see him because you see how the light reflects on them. The light is on the background, but on them it's complete darkness. She cannot see his face at all. Love this lighting. Dramatic music. And this little scene, this complete contrast. And there you have it. Batman strikes the Joker. Name to my pain. And he destroys another TV. And he always, Joker always has really huge guns. Really, like this is like this does not shoot bullets. This shoots like little missiles. I don't know what, but yeah. And I love the prescience of Alfred and the prescience of this scene that he's trying to tell him, sir, um, not to be a bother, but you know, Miss Vale, she called again, and maybe you putting her off and not responding to her is not the right course of action. It's not sane for you. She'd be good for you if you gave her a chance. And then, like we'll see a little later. But I know that it's the little details that are sprinkled that make sense, that make a tangible narrative. So I like it, and it's perfect for that version of Batman again, because at his age, for a young Batman like Matt Reeves the Batman, no, don't at like 28, 27, 28 years old, Alfred won't say, okay, now you have to settle with a woman, Bruce. It's like, no, of course he wouldn't say that. And of course, he would never say, stop being Batman. Get it, Nolan? He would never say that. Even at 65 and Alfred is on his deathbed, Alfred still wants the Batman to be there for the good reasons. Alfred is never against Batman. Alfred is against the pain and the emotional, both physical and but mostly emotional, because he knows Batman Bruce is strong enough for the hits and the punch and the bullets and the blades and the thugs and the villains and the supervillains. He knows he can get through all that, but the emotional and pain that he inflicts himself, not that his enemies inflict. Batman's biggest flaw is the pain he causes on himself by being a recluse, by uh, portraying a life that isn't real to the other to the light side, to the other people, to the city, to everything. He lives a world. He lives a lot days of lies all the time. The only time he's real is with Alfred, and Alfred tells himself, "Yeah, it maybe it's not really good for his brain to only have an old butler to talk about things every day, like to never have anyone else." And so that's why I always tiptoe around for Robin. Do I like it? What do I like about it? Don't I like about it? And it's a little details like that, but I mean, it makes sense at this age for Batman and most of all Alfred to try to say, you know, like he'll say, he says it verbatim, to try telling her the truth. And Bruce is surprised because Bruce has never thought about that. He just enter a splinter in Bruce's brain, and there Bruce goes. And Kate Basinger, she's always gorgeous, even today, but in this scene, she is woo, killer. I'm just checking the camera, guys, because it's this second time I do this. Okay. And again, this scene is, well, I'll grab a little drink and I'll be back before you know it. All right, I'm back. It's working. Excellent. Let's continue. So yeah, another of my favorite scenes in the movie, because for the in my young times, I didn't understand it at all. I didn't understand why they were saying what Bruce was doing, what Bruce was acting like, what Bruce was body language. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. I said, what is this scene in the movie? It is so weird. But it is so weird because we're gonna discuss. And like I said, Alfred told him again and again and again, "Sir, sir, she's calling again. Sir, she's calling again. No, we're not leaving town. We're gonna be here for quite a while." And Batman, Bruce doesn't. Bruce, it's like I said, a little bit of year one, because Bruce hasn't never taught in all his years of training and designing his persona and creating the Batman. He didn't take a break and say, hmm, what will I do with girls that I give a fuck about? Because in his mind it was girls, women. When I say girls, I mean women. Let's be clear. I mean women. I'll lie to them, whatever. I don't care. And on to another thing. So he never figured out that part because he never spent a second thinking about that except to say, I'll lie. So now that something real is happening and sometimes that he feels something, oh, now he has to figure it out. And he can't really figure it out. He's trying to. He's trying his best. That's why this scene exists. When he's Vicky Vale, when he's with Vicky Vale. That's what he said right now. Shut up, because it's hard for me, harder than you can think. And he tries to explain. Oh my God, you're married. And again, they put with all this, in all this. I mean, writing this scene must have been so special, and Michael Keaton gives it such a creative and his eyes and the move and his face movement and his licking his lips and he's so awkward because he's awkward from inside. He's not awkward from looking goofy. He's awkward inside because he doesn't know this part of himself. He doesn't know how to do so. He doesn't know how to explain it because it's something that for him it's too profound and deep and anchored for him. So to try to explain it with someone drastically different, it's like it makes no sense. So then I like that they had the time to plug a joke in there, like, "Oh my God, you're married." Nice joke. And he tries, and he tries. Not complex. Listen. No. No. Okay. Fuck. Try number three, Bruce. Come on, you can do it. And I love that she has to reassure him because if you saw there, he turned from a very not goofy. I don't like the word. I don't like the word, but again awkward, unsure of himself. Not unsure, but he's unsure of his words. He's never unsure of himself. He's fucking Bruce Wayne. But I love how for a straight second okay, I'm gonna try to rationalize this second life, my real life. How do I explain someone what I'm going through? It's impossible. Nobody would ever understand, so why am I losing my time? Okay, I'll try to make it simple, but it doesn't work because it's not simple. And I love that for a second his eyes turn very serious and he says, Vicky, what I'm trying to tell you, and he can't put the words out because it's too difficult or too painful or too something. And I love that she grabs him and says it's okay. She's like she has to reassure him again that he can trust her and his secret will be safe with her. And what stops Batman from going forward? The Joker. And the Joker says exactly what Bruce said. Nice place we got here, lots of space. Both said the same thing. Again, is that a movie for children? Batman is okay, but Batman Returns is not? Just She just jumped from the window, and he has the mask, and he breaks the mask too. And he breaks the mask, and he laughs. So now we're at the second half of this scene because the first half was Bruce confronting Vicky, and now it's Bruce confronting the Joker, and it's a whole other playfield. And again, he starts by saying, "I know who you are," which is true, but he's not talking about Jack Napier. Eh, bad seed hurt people. Got sloppy, started to lose it. Who does that remind you of from? Who got sloppy and began to lose it? Bruce? Couldn't keep it straight. Again, I'm sure this scene can be interpreted in many different fashions, but I like to think that Bruce is thinking a little bit about himself. Well, at the both of them, but I always when he says, of course, from a bad seed, he didn't. Bruce doesn't come from bad seed in this universe, but I like to think, had a bad worrying, kind of got sloppy, couldn't keep it straight up here. It's like, yeah, it was Batman, it was Bruce trying to figure out how to lay vengeance upon his enemies, like in Batman Year One. So, and who made a lot of mistakes in Batman Year One? Batman. So that's my own take on it. But it's a great scene, great acted. Uh, get nuts. Come on, let's get nuts. Never happened remains rhubarb. Yet every time I come, so somebody's always in the way. Like Joker was in the way of Batman revealing her his true identity. And she can't take it anymore. And she has a headache. Batman gives her a lot of headache. Yeah. And I like that in this Gotham City. Yeah, the Wayne murders are not um, very widely known thing. It's like I think because I don't think they ever say Wayne Enterprises. I think if I remind myself on Batman Returns and him talking to Shrek, and at the beginning of this movie having a place next to the mayor, I think that this universe's Batman in the Tim Burton's Batman, um, Bruce is kind of, yes, he's a billionaire, but his parents maybe didn't were rich for other reasons because they never mention Wayne Enterprises. They never mention where he got his money. He's just rich. He's just a rich guy. So yeah, it makes total sense that if we talk about, like, yeah, like in Matt Reeves the Batman, he has a tower, and like in Nolan movies there are Wayne Enterprises and this and that, and we always see something that, so it makes more sense in those iterations that the when the Wayne murders are more widely known, or in Matt Reeves the Batman they reference it. They say 20 years today the Waynes were killed, and so everybody knows. But in this universe, no, Knox had to make a deal of journalism, of research to find it. And I love that there are no real computers, so they have to go to the archives, and it makes it so more real. The shot on film is, yeah. Too late. I swear I thought this line at the time when our friend is locking the suit up, and Batman Bruce says, "What's in your mind?" And great line by pure Alfred line. Like, I have no desire to spend my few remaining years in the degree for old friends. are their sons. So it's like, yeah, he wants. That's why he wants to take care of Bruce in a more friendly manner, in a more soft and warmth, and he wants to know Bruce will have some kind of life because he doesn't have many years left anymore. This Alfred, because this Batman is older, so and Alfred's sense is a sense of loss in the like, and he tells himself, well, I have maybe 10 years. I don't know how much time I have left. So, I mean, what will Bruce do when I won't be there for him? Who will he speak to? What, I mean, would he work? Will his condition, his paranoia, and his lies and his crime, his crime fighting nights will continue and go even worse? What will happen? So that's why he senses an urgency, and that's why he's trying in this movie to always uh, tell Batman indirectly first, but soon directly, that, and Bruce doesn't get it quite right now, but it will come. And I love that in the first Batman, even the Joker found a way to be on screen. And I love this message. And he shuts up the mayor. I love it because it shows this Joker is, because we've seen, like in famously in Heath Ledger's Joker, we've seen Joker on the news and making videos and plenty of times, but we've never seen him hack the news channel. He can send a video to the news and the news can play it, but now he is clear. He is just straightforwardly hacking the news. He just tossed the mayor literally with one hand, metaphorically. So now he is on every screen, and I love how this end game is so smart. How do you kill a lot and a lot of people with a terror chemical attack? Make them all go to the same place, and what will attract them to the same place? Money. Free money. And I love this soundtrack, the piano, bum 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 bum, and with this somber music. And now he's being tested. Now he has been challenged. and the violin starts, the cello, unsolved police report, and I love the way that it's real newspaper, not fucking computers all the time. It gives it such more texture. Of course, he doesn't really need his glasses. And again, what does he do with all his pain and all this? The Joker's message going through, his parents' memories going through, and is what will it do with this challenge and this pain and this heartbreak, and again, his um, his character is challenged in so many ways, in all facets. And what does he do? Doesn't say a fucking word. Just looks into the abyss and doesn't blink. He's just disgusted, just like with the lips. He doesn't say it. He doesn't need to say it. It's too internal for him. It's too personal. It's too painful to 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 talk about it would make it not his anymore. It would make it volatile and crude, and other people, because other people can't understand. They were not there. They didn't suffer what he suffered, so they wouldn't understand. Of course, here we are in Kramale. I like the actor they took. He really looks like Jack. And he realizes, yeah. And at the same exact time that he realizes this flash, this news flash. It's a crude way to say it, but this revelation has come into him, and now he has to face another. Because for a woman, for Vicky Vale to walk in the Batcave is as harsh, uh, because he feels violated. He feels it's mine. This place is mine. It's not yours. It's like it. Maybe it's not as harsh, but finding that Joker killed his parents is already a shock. But Vicky Vale walking in the Batcave when he is vulnerable and not that. He's emotionally vulnerable because of what he just discovered, not because the real Bruce Wayne, is as hard as marble. He has a hard head, but for Vicky to walk in at right at this time, it explains why Bruce is so. Uh, he turns his back on her. he finally finds the words, because for all the time he has spent in her apartment trying to explain it, now that she is in his apartment, metaphorically, uh, he says, sometimes even I don't know how to describe it, because just something I have to do. That's the explanation. It is something I have to do. There's no buts, there's no rebuttals, there's no why, there's no what if, there's no but. There's no answer to this. It's just it's a fact. And he says, why should, yeah, nobody else can. That's the reason. It doesn't have to be a perfect world, but for Bruce, it has he has to make Gotham a better world. And what, and all that what she and what all what he was trying to say to her finally converges, and as soon as she speaks of love, he says, yeah, well, I've gotta go to work. And I like, no, I like the way he said it. He's like, he's out there right now and I've got to go to work. He said, yeah, someone wakes up in the morning and takes breakfast and gives someone goodbye and goes to a job. There you are. And the score. So Bruce is Batman's had enough of fucking excess chemicals, so he's just gonna blow it up. And so let's begin with the Batman. People say Keaton's Batman kills. I don't agree, because there's a difference between voluntarily, if you showed me Batman taking a guy like Ben Affleck did and breaking his neck, that Batman, yeah, Batman killed that guy. But let's take Axis Chemicals, for example. Okay, he bombs the Axis Chemicals building and he's not in the car. But if these people want to, if these criminals, these thugs, if they want to be there and to serve the Joker, and they are in the building, that will be on fire soon. That's their fucking problem. I cannot, and I am not the master of the universe. I won't make a phone call to the authorities or to God and to tell you, oh, well, you have to get out of excess chemicals because it's going to blow up. No. You want to work with the Joker, you want to protect this facility that creates so much death. Well, I'm going to blow it up. And if you're in there and if you get blown up too, well, that's your damn problem. Yeah, he has gun, but he shoots a door, not people. Yeah. And of course, there had to be the bomb didn't blew up exactly when the tingle when it fell on the floor, because the Batmobile had to get out of the way, because the Batmobile would have been blown up too if she had waited on the spot. So they had time to run away. Maybe I'm seeing too deep in this. Maybe I'm finding excuses, but that's the way I like it. And that's the way I'm seeing it. So yeah, it's all blowing up, but if the Batmobile can get out, you can get out too. You're a fucking problem. Take the emergency exit, and drop yourself in the river. Fuck you. They have so many shots and sets on fire and explosions and miniatures work. It looks great. So we are starting the climax. Joker said missed me, but he wasn't trying to kill the Joker. He was destroying his enterprise. Great shots. Great visuals with the and what a better city than Gotham to make this work. It's a I mean it would work in any city, but and I like that Joker literally has a throne. I never saw that before. Gotham's greed and Vicky. Oh yes, the military march. As Joker is amping up the ante, so Batman has to do the same. Nope. You gotta go. Oh, this one. So let's see the color. Okay, no, this gas is green, so it says again little blurry in the what gas that does what, but it surely kills them. Even if it's is laughing gas, it kills them anyway. So Nox is doing his part. I love the music here. Again, a great use of miniatures, great look. I mean, it's my favorite design for the Batwing, for the Batmobile, for I hated the Batwing so much in Dark Knight Rises. Oh my god. He's taking his balloons. Now, pure Joker shot. Bob Gun. That's anarchy. A trailer shot. And again, Batman's gonna open fire. Does he kill anybody? Believe me, with military grade tech, air vehicle, missiles, and Gatling guns, if you want to kill someone, we would have seen some fucking blood. He's scaring them. He's not killing them. Yeah, and we want to say, yeah, and Tim Burton understood perfectly before Nolan did it. It's the same scene. Joker says, "Come to me, hit me, let's go. You have the money, you are you have all the toys, you have all the things. Here's just plain old me." So this is perfect. It's so gorgeous with the miniatures and the so much good work in this movie. Yeah. And he's still there. All the Joker's goons are they jumped out. Did, if we had seen someone go and be shot, lots of people get shot in this movie, and we see them. No, when the thing explodes, they jump off. It, he didn't shoot them, and they ran away. But the Joker is the only one crazy enough to have bombs exploding or near him and standing there. And of course, his big gun. And I love the set of the destroyed Batwing. It's great. Straight at the door of the Gothic church. I love how Batman is when he gets out of the rubble. He's all messed up and bloody. That's how I like my Batman. And the melody here. What's more beautiful than Batman entering a Gothic cathedral at night? And we see that he's hurt. He's hurt because he's so hurt he falls. He falls. Yeah, we see he's trying to touch everything. He's not there at all. I love the final piece, the final set. I know I say I love, but I love it so much. And Joker, of course, spraying the clock. Blocks everybody. Okay, so let's get ready for the climax. Oh, I love the scar he has here. Keaton really looks like a demon here. His eyes, he's pissed now. He's pissed. Now, why does Vicky Vale dances on oath? I always, when I was a kid, I was so scared of this guy, this last big goon. Because what have we seen? Okay, so fight analysis. Batman. We've seen this sidekick that he's gonna throw here. At the beginning, the criminal on the rooftop make it plunged through a wooden door, like kicking him back 4 or 5 meters. Like this kick is powerful. Kick does nothing. The guy doesn't budge. And we see him. I love that here. Like we saw with the guy with the swords. He's an escape artist. He ducks like a good boxer. He ducks. He evades, even with his suit. It's and yeah. Why is Vicky Vale just going with the flow and doing nothing? I think the Joker maybe has put on a little thing on her, a little downer maybe because she's maybe it's just the emotional stress. But she's crying. She's just going the flow. She's the damsel in distress. Yeah. problems. This guy is really tough. My God. Batman rolls. I like that clean roll. Takes the punches. And you're sure Batman's dead because that's Batman's strength. Making him, he got him a few shots because you want him to think he has the advantage, when in the end he has not. Okay, did Batman kill that guy? In all fairness, yes. In all fairness, he could have thrown him and he could have landed on the other stairs or someone or somewhere. The fact that he falls flat, yeah, I guess he has killed that guy. Oh well. It's like I said. After the when he arrives in the top of the cathedral and he's trying his Batwing is devastated. He's injured and he's pissed. He's just pissed. Tim Burton's Batman is really fucking psychotic. Like I said, he's a silent angel of darkness. He's most psychotic than the other Batman. Batman may be more brutal and maybe more violent in their action scenes, in their fighting styles, but this Batman is the most psychotic. And of course, it could may have been the fact that he found out that Joker killed his parents. So that's why if you work for the Joker, you're with him, and you killed my parents too. And of course, Beauty and the Beast, and Vicky Vale's the Beast. Jack Nicholson has such good monologues. Of course, Batman shows up, silent, doesn't talk, doesn't stay there and walks through him, just looks at the scenery. I don't know. Yeah. First thing he says, I'm gonna kill you. I know you did. Yeah, he's psychotic. He just beats the hell out of him. He could just arrest him plain. He could just arrest him most like painlessly, but no, he wants to fucking beat him up. Yeah, so that when Tim Burton was pitching the idea, I'm sure this phrase, this this dialogue must have settled the fact that they said, "Okay, yeah, let's go." The gargoyles. I like this joke. I mean, just Joker doing his thing. I mean, they finally is all right. I mean, again, that's the only part that that's why I'm not talking because it's the only part of the movie I like less. Like that's why Batman Returns is more is well, one of the reasons that Batman Returns is most of my favorite. But the climax of the Burton movie, I've never been very strong. That's not their forte. That's not why they're masterpieces. It's their character work that is the best. And even here, the Joker is doing his character, and Batman will do his, and you know, again, does he kill the Joker? Technically, you could say again, it's always the phrase of it's his problem. I I spent my life training to hone my skills. If you don't have the same skills, and if you don't have the strength or the tools to to liberate yourself from my embrace, well, it's your goddamn problem. Because he said he wasn't gonna kill him. Yeah. Beautiful in the fall. Stop laughing. But yeah, I mean, it's the same thing that in Batman Returns with the explosive missiles, penguins. Like it's not good, but that's not the point of the movie. Like it's like I always say, my best analogy is the Count of Monte Cristo because I have never seen a movie adaptation that did the book justice. Because during these times, a few hundred years ago, there was no Hollywood, there was no climax, there was no, people just made good stories, and they did so by character work. And the characters said and did it all, and it was enough. Just be, just do justice to your characters, and you have a good piece. You have a good art piece, whatever it is. That's why Hollywood doesn't understand the Count of Monte Cristo, and sometimes, well, I guess you got my mandate. I mean, they were throwing so much money in this risk of a movie, so I'm sure Warner Brothers had a few notes. It wasn't like today that you want more and more Joker, and but I love this finale. It's really ironic that this is a whole plot through the movie that they want a picture of Batman, and in Batman Forever, that's the first thing we see is Batman's face in a close up. He gave us this great ending. Alfred still trying to attract Miss Vale. Hmm. Story might be a little late. And basically the same finale as Batman Returns. The elevation and the rooftops of the city to find a Batman with the call. Yeah, in 1989, mind blown. So that's it, guys. Gonna cut short because yeah, this finale is yeah, like I said, it's not about. It's about the characters. For me, Tim Burton is a character director. He's not. He has never made the better. I don't know, the better arcs, the better narratives, the better. He has a certain very very precise style, and to make an amalgamation of his style and the Batman lore was very good, but could only survive for so long. Even at three movies, I think it would have been enough. I wish we had that third, Unfortunately, we didn't. But for again, if we take a time machine and make it back to 89 and have this cast of actors with this music, with this budget, with these effects, with these with this script, with everything coming together and so perfectly, and at this time it took a tremendous vision. Like nobody at that time, nobody would have made better than what Tim Burton gave us. So I thank him for that, and Michael Keaton will always be the best. And I hope they don't ruin it with what they have in plan right now at WB. I don't want to think about it. We never know. But that's it for now, guys. And I'll see you on the next Batman thing, or maybe something else. Take care.